Sri Gurubhyo Nama children, welcome to online session. Already we are starting, I have already started with surface chemistry. So many concepts we have seen. And in the last class, I told about the factors that affect adsorption. There are two important factors that affect adsorption. One is surface area, another one is heat of adsorption. Already I told about surface area. I have introduced already. First point already we have seen. That is, surface area of an adsorbent plays a greater role for adsorption. Larger the surface area of the adsorption of the adsorbent, greater will be the adsorption. For example, the adsorbent what you have taken, when it has a large surface area, when the surface area is greater, adsorption is also greater. So, in the last class I told at the surface area and adsorption are directly proportional. So, what is directly proportional? When one increases, the other quantity also increases. So, both the quantities will increase. When one decreases, the other also decreases. So, directly proportional. So, here already I told about heat, what is that? We have talked about the surface area. Larger the surface area, greater will be the adsorption. So, we are going to talk about another important factor, that is heat of adsorption. Shall we see, children? So, here this is nothing but mechanism of adsorption. We should know how adsorption is taking place. So, we are going to see the factors, the various factors that influences the rate of adsorption. So, we are going to see the two important factors that affect the rate of adsorption. The first one, actually it is in the form of mechanism of adsorption, how adsorption is taking place. So, this slide completely talks about the mechanism of adsorption. Adsorption occurs because the particle on the surface and the particle in the bulk of the adsorbent are not same. Already told you. I already told this point. The particles which are present in the bulk, the particles in the bulk are not equal to the particles at the surface. The particles inside the bulk, here the force of attraction of the particles in the bulk, they are balanced. So, in the bulk, the force of attraction between the particles is balanced, whereas at the surface, the force of attraction is unbalanced. Why it is unbalanced at the surface? Because at the surface, we cannot expect molecules of the same kind. Same kind of molecules are not present at the surface. Inside the bulk, we can expect the same kind of molecules. Whereas at the surface, at surface is exposed. So, some other particles also can accumulate. Particles from from the other side can come and accumulate at the surface. So, at the surface there is unbalanced force of attraction. This unbalanced force of attraction is responsible for adsorption. So, we are going to see this slide completely talks about the mechanism of adsorption. How adsorption is taking place? What is that? What is the force of attraction? Why it varies? Why the force of attraction varies in the bulk as well as at the surface. So, I told about the force of attraction which plays a greater role for the adsorption. Already I told you adsorption is a surface phenomenon. What is surface phenomenon? All these reactions are taking place only at the surface, not in the bulk. So, we are talking about the reactions that are taking place at the surface. So, here when you talk about the surface area, that is why I told you, larger the surface area, greater will be the adsorption. So, actually the first paragraph talks about the unbalanced force of attraction. So, at the surface we cannot expect molecules of the same kind as it is exposed. So some other molecules also can accumulate at the surface. As a result, there will be unbalanced force of attraction. We can call this as residual force of attraction, unbalanced residual force of attraction. This unbalanced residual force of attraction is responsible for adsorption. So the force acting between the molecules in the bulk is different than the force acting at the surface. So this is first point. Second point, the particle on the surface has unbalanced forces acting on it, which are also called residual attractive force. So particles at the surface, we cannot expect particles of the same kind as it is exposed outside. Some other atoms also can accumulate. As a result, there is unbalanced force of attraction. We can call it as residual attractive forces. This unbalanced force at the surface, we can call it as residual attractive forces. So this unbalanced force at the surface, we can call it as residual attractive force. So the unbalanced forces acting on the surface, we can also call as residual attractive force. So due to these forces, due to this residual force of attraction, the surface particles. So here we have it has talked about the mechanism of adsorption. So what is adsorption? What is very important for adsorption? We are talking about the adsorbent. See here, when you talk about the force of attraction between the particles in the bulk, so in the bulk the force of attraction are balanced, whereas at the surface the force of attraction of the particles are not balanced. As a result, we can call this unbalanced force of attraction as residual attractive forces. So these residual attractive forces play a greater role for the adsorption. Next, during this adsorption, so already I told about the unbalanced force. Where is this unbalanced force? At the surface. So we can see the unbalanced force at the surface. What we are discussing about? We are discussing about the phenomenon that is taking place at the surface. The adsorption is taking place at the surface. So during adsorption, there is always a decrease in residual attractive force. So at the surface, how will be the residual attractive force? There will be a decrease in residual attractive force of the surface. That is, the energy of the surface decreases. So at the surface, what is that? The residual attractive force, that is unbalanced force, that is responsible for adsorption. So at the surface, the residual attractive forces decreases. So what is happening at the surface? There is a decrease in residual force of attraction. What will be the surface energy? Surface energy also decreases. The energy at the surface decreases. So what is the concept we are talking about? We are talking about the adsorption. At the surface there are unbalanced forces. These unbalanced forces are called residual attractive force. So this residual attractive force at the surface, what is happening? It decreases. As a result, what is happening? As the residual attractive forces decreases, the surface, what is that? Energy also decreases. So that is, the energy of the surface decreases, the energy of the surface decreases here. So what is happening here? The energy gets decreases, the energy of the surface decreases, and the amount of heat evolved when 1 mole of the adsorbate is adsorbed on the adsorbent surface, that is called enthalpy of adsorption. So here they have discussed about the enthalpy, heat. Enthalpy is nothing but heat. Heat of adsorption. First I told about what is that, we are discussing about adsorption, which is surface phenomenon. What is happening at the surface? How is the residual attractive force? The residual attractive force at the surface decreases. As a result, what is happening? The amount of the energy of the surface decreases and the amount of heat evolved when 1 mole of the adsorbate, the amount of heat energy liberated when 1 mole of the adsorbate is adsorbed at the surface of the adsorbent, we can call it as heat of adsorption. So, what is heat of adsorption actually? Heat of adsorption. What is that actually? The amount of heat energy liberated. Amount of heat energy liberated the amount of heat energy liberated when 1 mole of the adsorbate when 1 mole of the adsorbate is adsorbed on the adsorbent surface. So, here actually I defined heat of adsorption. What is heat of adsorption? The amount of heat energy liberated, the amount of heat energy released when adsorption takes place. So, where is the adsorption taking place? At the surface. What is the reason for the adsorption? Unbalanced forces acting at the surface. How do we call this unbalanced force? Residual attractive force. So, the residual attractive force that are acting at the surface, what is happening? It gets decreases. So, it gets decreases. As a result, what is happening? The amount of heat energy that is liberated when 1 mole of the adsorbate is adsorbed on the surface of an adsorbent, we can call it as heat of adsorption. The next one, and we are going to see when the adsorbate molecules are adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent. Already told you. Where are the adsorbate molecules? They are at the surface of the adsorbent. Their freedom of movement, what is happening? Restricted. So, what is happening to the motion? What is happening to the movement of the particles during adsorption? What is happening? The movement of the particles is restricted. So, and hence delta S decreases, entropy. So, what is entropy actually? Actually, entropy is nothing but randomness or disorderness of molecule in the system. So, what is entropy? Actually, randomness. How the molecules in the system, always they will be, what is that, in a disorderly arrangement. The molecules in the system are not orderly arranged, they are disorderly arranged. So, what is happening when adsorption is taking place? What is happening to the movement of the particles? The movement of the particles is restricted. their freedom of movement becomes restricted, and hence delta S, the entropy decreases. So what is happening to the, what is that? Entropy, which is nothing but disorderliness. The molecules in a system are not orderly arranged, they are disorderly arranged. So when adsorption is taking place, what is happening? Entropy, that is delta S, change in entropy. What we are doing actually, during adsorption, the movement of the particle is restricted. I am arresting the movement of the particles. As a result, what is happening? There is a decrease in entropy, that is, there is a decrease in delta S. So delta S becomes negative. So delta S will be negative. Delta S is negative. Okay. We know that you would have learnt in what is it, 11th standard. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. What is this actually? Thermodynamic principle. Thermodynamic principle. Thermodynamic principle. So what is thermodynamic principle? Already we have seen last year. That is delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. What is the delta G? What is the delta G? Gibbs free energy change. Gibbs free energy change. Gibbs free energy change. So delta G is nothing but Gibbs free energy change. So delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. For adsorption to be spontaneous. What is spontaneous? Continuously the reaction will be taking place, non-stop. What is spontaneous? Non-stop. Continuously adsorption will be taking place. It is a non-stop, that is a spontaneous reaction. For adsorption to be spontaneous, I want my adsorption process to be spontaneous. Delta G must be negative. For spontaneous, for adsorption to be spontaneous, delta G must be negative. So what will be the delta G value? Delta G should have negative value. Delta G should be negative. Okay. This can happen when delta G will have negative value, when delta H has a high negative value. When delta H has high negative value, what will happen to T delta S? T delta S will become positive. So I want delta G should be negative. When my delta G will be negative, delta H should have high negative value. T delta S should be positive. T delta S should be positive. So in such a case, when delta H is having high negative value and T delta S becomes positive, because I am restricting the movement of the molecules, so entropy decreases. So what is happening? From positive it becomes negative. For spontaneous process, delta G should be negative. Already delta H is also negative. Delta G is also negative. Here delta S, what is that? It is from positive, it decreases. So delta S is also negative. So I wanted delta G should be negative. In such a case, what can be done? Delta H should have high negative value. If the negative value is greater and the positive value is less, when you are going to subtract the positive value from high negative value, what will be the answer? So delta G will be negative here. So when you will get delta G negative, when delta H is higher negative value, T delta S is positive. From large negative value, when you subtract the positive value, you will be getting delta G is negative. Okay. As the adsorption continues, adsorption is continuing now. As it continues, delta H becomes less and less negative. Previously, it had large negative value during adsorption. Adsorption, what is that? Proceeds. So what is happening? Delta H becomes less and less negative till it becomes equal to T delta S. So delta H becomes less and less negative when adsorption continues. So at one case, at a particular time, what will happen? This delta H should be equal to T delta S. So this delta H should be equal to T delta S. Substitute in the value, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. What is that actually? Delta H, substitute the value of delta H is equal to T delta S. So what you will write? T delta S minus T delta S. So what is happening? Plus T delta S minus T delta S getting cancelled. Therefore, delta G is equal to 0. So delta G becomes 0 when delta H has less and less negative value, and at a particular case what is happening? Delta H becomes equal to T delta S. Substitute delta H value as a T delta S in the equation. Del G is equal to del H minus T delta S. So T delta S plus T delta S minus T delta S getting cancelled. What is delta G? 0. When delta G becomes 0, what can we say? Equilibrium is attained. Equilibrium is attained. So when delta G becomes equal to 0, equilibrium is attained. So I have explained about the heat of adsorption here.